to the Rip Comics podcast. I'm Robert, and we have
Roland from Metal Jaw Comics,
and we have Merv Griffin. Anyway,
woo!
yes, and Merv Griffin is in the house today in spirit, but we are here live for another episode of Metal Jaw Comics. No, that was last week. If you guys have a chance, watch last week's episode. It is streaming on YouTube, and we actually had a really good spot for Metal Jaw Comics, and I guess you could say it's the quiet launch back, a return, and we will get insight as it's getting more set up and all that, and another sneak peek at some more pencil work that is going on.
See, but I don't know whether to use that one or...
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, yes. So things are in the variant homage fashion going on at Metal Jaw Comics. Today is Saturday, and it's Labor Day weekend. It's Labor Day weekend, everybody. Yeah.
If I had a job, I would have something to labor about.
It'd be most people will be having a 3-day weekend. Actually, the weekend
having a month.
For us, the weekend kind of started last night. I was watching HBO Max, and I saw that the new episode of Lovecraft Country was on there. And usually,
I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, we usually catch them on Sunday. I believe that's when the show usually comes out. But that episode was out, and then there's another show that we've been kind of dabbling into called The Vow. That episode has also popped out. So I guess for Labor Day they have launched these.
Well, I don't know if you saw that on Amazon. They released The Boys a little bit earlier than they originally were planning on.
Yeah. I think maybe that's just a little gift I guess everybody's getting for Labor Day. Maybe they're trying to keep everybody at home, so that they.
I started watching the next season, and woo.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. That's on my list. Definitely, I want to check that out in the next day or two. We'll probably watch the whole thing in about 2 days. No, it comes out weekly. So, but
no, I've already seen
all of them are there.
The season 1 did that, but I think they changed it up for the second season.
Oh, will they release them in clumps or the whole thing's up?
I think the whole thing's out. I just haven't. The only reason I haven't finished is because it was one of my insomnia nights, and so I had to get like at least 30 minutes of sleep. So
What do you feel about a show that does that? That they release it, weekly and. Kind of like the way the HBO and all that kind of stuff, you're kind of in that. But I've seen Netflix. No, wait. Has Netflix done that?
There was a few that Netflix tried.
It staggered them out. But usually Amazon or some of these other channels will stagger the shows out, or they'll throw 2 episodes first, and then they'll start knocking them out. Hulu does that a lot.
And see, with something like that, I would end up probably waiting to watch them all at once because it is very hard to. I mean, even something like a noon podcast on Saturdays. Every Saturday it happens, but we don't change it. But I try to find a way to make it. But to watch a show, even though it may come out that same day, I just wait until maybe wait until the end of the month to do all the
when the car's fixed. Anyway,
okay,
but.
I like it. I mean, it can be if you're trying to build up. I think with the first season, have you seen The Boys?
Yes.
Seen The Boys, right?
Yes. I've seen it.
I think I realized that's when I'm ending up looking like Butcher. Am I?
When I was watching that, well, I mean, obviously, the world is so vast. Anybody's going to come up with that. But I think that was in the vein of kind of like what we were kind of looking at doing ourselves, trying to do something. Not necessarily. I like their little thing that they're doing. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of opening those Dark Horse comics when they had all those whatever dollar issues that were popping out or whatever it was that introduced a character, 4 characters a month or whatever. Yeah. Barbed wire.
That's the one I got. That's the only one I had.
Okay. Yeah. I do I still have those? I don't know. I might.
with
I
the
might.
ash, with the ash cans.
Yeah, the ash cans.
Casada.
Casada, caseta, quesadilla. Anyway,
Quesadilla. Sorry.
there was all kind of news, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. It's this: Spawn 309 goes back to print after reorder numbers hit 5 figures. Okay, so I'm trying to get this straight. The book is solicited. Todd McFarlane solicits this book, and then the orders are cut off. You get that FOC. You got to get your orders in, and then the issues are the numbers locked in or whatever the case may be. The demand is so great that people keep asking for this, and all these reorders. I guess the dealers start punching the button, reorder, and I guess that is. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I really wish I knew something about how that works behind the scenes. But then the reorder numbers, and these are, I guess, the numbers that are going in for people wanting to get, extra this. I don't know if it's like America Got Talent or whatever, and the votes are coming in. But the number hit 5 figures. So how many of the first printing of 309 was made that this thing rose to a 5-figure account? That's the part that I don't get.
Well, my question. Well, okay. Now usually sometimes with a reprint, they're going to have a variant cover, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to.
So see, to me, that's the question I have is, the reordering because people wanted that issue. But they're not going to get that issue now. They're going to get a reprint because, again, like I've said, I don't know if a lot of people actually know what's going on in Spawn. A lot of people just buy it for investment. So people want that issue. So yeah, number one, first printing issue is in demand. So it's being put into second printing, and it's like, oh,
they actually have the first that printing. See, this is the beauty of Preview World. It actually will give you and I'm going to pop it up right here so that you can see it.
But anyway, so everybody likes Gunslinger, which you showed that it has null in it or whatever. Somebody. I was actually thinking of like, I'm waiting for, because on the site, on the Facebook page, you had posted the Ninja Spawn cash grab. And I'm just waiting for the Hamilton Spawn. Like, I was gonna draw that, like Spawn with his, like, it looks like a ponytail. And
there it is. That's the second print.
Okay, so that's.
Yep.
Is that the cover of the first print?
Nope. Okay, just imagine that green logo in red, and that's your first print, and this is your second print. Green logo.
Okay, well, see, no, that's what I meant. So the drawing is the same, though.
Yeah.
Okay, because I would hate to think that he was like, hey, I decided to draw this second drawing before the first printing even went out of sale for a second print.
Yeah. Well, if you look at other books that have had second and third printings, usually, well, at least in the Marvel world, they'll put something out that's a little bit different. Maybe it's some panels that were actually in the book, or maybe some kind of reveal, and then they'll put that as that cover. And then when they start getting into the third and all that kind of printing, I don't know. I've been kind of thinking about it, and I think Marvel has stepped away from actually reprinting that first cover again, or maybe throwing it off with like different colors, because DC does that. DC will do that. DC will, like, if the banner behind the logo is green, then the next one will be red, but it looks almost exactly the same, or they'll tint the book up a little, just a tad bit.
Well, they did that with that first appearance. Well, not first, but that cover of New Mutants with Cable on it, didn't they? Where it was like a gold cover.
Yeah. Usually the
18.
backgrounds. Yeah, the backgrounds they'll change from orange to silver.
Or New Mutants number 100.
Yeah, they'll change something about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't mind the font. I mean, the color change. because it's still the same. I just didn't want that cash grab of, ooh, here's a variant. So everybody who got the first issue, the first printing, well, you need to get the second printing because this one was done with Todd's right hand instead of his left or whatever. Is he left-handed?
He's
I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
He's
so
left.
this spawn I decided to draw, super cool with my right hand,
So that brings up the other story that I kind of had here. So this is what this comic did. Issue 20. It's so hot it went back for a third printing, and I mean immediately. It's like they announced it the day that it was released. The demand is so great that they. So this is what the third print is going to look like.
Now, I thought it was a hot issue because of the cover of the other. I mean, I remember you talking about this one. Isn't that the one you were talking about?
Yes.
Now, I thought that's why it was hot, because of that cover.
Right.
So
now, but see, that's why I'm bringing that I'm bringing that up, because now we have this. This is the Lorax throw off from the Lorax. It all started with this. And what we're seeing here is a Dr. Seuss Ice Cream Man number 20, and it looks like Cat in the Hat. Everything about it is Cat in the Hat. So they decide to go into immediate. I mean, the thing was going for like $15, $20 at the most.
Cover price?
No, the book is a $3.99 book, but basically the dealers were selling it right off the bat. It flew out the window, the door, whatever you want to call it. And so if you were lucky to even nab a copy or something like that, you lucked out. So they did that. The Places You Will Go becomes Ice Cream Man issue number 2, second print. And then this thing goes like gangbusters again. And this just came out. So the demand was just as high, and they immediately went into a third print. And it's, again, another cover. So basically, you're playing the chasing game. If you didn't get the first cover, well, you're out of luck. You're now at the mercy of the secondary market, and whoever has a copy of that. Now here comes.
Yeah, but with comic stores though, your first market is your second, third direct market, because before the issue even comes out, they're going to say, oh, well, everybody wanted this one, so guess what? Second printing is also $15.
Well, see, that's what it means. I think that's what happens. It gets them in a catch-22, because think about it this way. I did not order that first Ice Cream Man number 20, and I came up a little bit short. So I'm going to double or even triple my order that I normally would put in for Ice Cream Man, hoping that the demand would still be just as much for this issue. Now, I'm willing to bet some money that if I was to go out this Saturday to a comic book shop, I could probably walk in and walk out with the second printing of Ice Cream Man number 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, so what happens to the demand of that third printing? Do you know what I'm saying? Are we seeing like it prints low, then the demand is high, then maybe they're like, oh my God, I got all this crap stuck on my wall, and maybe I'll go back to what I normally get, and then it's going to be a shorter print number 3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, and for me, or even for some people, I mean, they might like the Lorax.
True.
They might like, there might be Dr. Seuss fans, because I know a lot of Dr. Seuss fans. So to me, and I'm going to tell you what, I have no idea what the Ice Cream Man's about. No idea what that comic is about. I may take a look into it, and that's a good thing about doing this show with you, because I haven't been, I took a turn and started following more webcomics and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that I'm seeing that, wow, after a couple of years of not collecting comics, where they are. I think there's now 45 X books. And now that they at least put in the storyline, yeah, we're just going to keep bringing them back. It doesn't matter if they die or not. But
that is my drink today from Starbucks. That is, I don't know if you ever had this. It's the peach green tea lemonade.
No,
Trenticize.
no, this is my drink right now. Ocho Rosa, Monster, sugar
Yeah,
free.
yeah. That's like you're sponsored by them every week. I see that.
Because it's delicious. There's been there's been monsters that I have tried before, but this one is the best.
Nice, nice. I will put it on my list. You know what I used to get? I used to get the rehabs.
Yes, but
I
the
like
problem is that that's like getting a can of Country Time lemonade. It's not carbonated, so you're just like, it's done.
exactly, exactly. And that
I drink
and
this
that
faster than water.
yeah, man. I remember those days. It'd be like the 6-pack would be gone of the Country Time lemonades, and you know it just felt like air. It was like whoosh, this. It was just
It's faster than water. You're like, wait, did
yeah.
I drink that? Is it gone? That's the problem with the rehabs.
I get
Is that
yeah.
they're good. They're
They go
so good, but
smooth. It's so smooth.
smooth.
It's a very smooth
Thank goodness I don't
experience.
drink alcohol.
Oh no.
It's faster than water. People can't drink, 4 glasses of water, but they're already 12-pack in.
Yeah, and it's
Hate the
already.
taste.
Oh man. Oh,
My name
since we are September, right around the corner, September 19th, 2020 is Batman Day. It's globally set. This was announced, I guess, a couple of days ago. DC plans to unveil the global Batman Day celebration on September 19th for fans of all ages. And I guess what they're going to do this time around, they're going to have digital activities.
That's right. I read about the Waze or something like that.
Yeah, the Waves audio player feature and all kinds of other stuff. They're going to do all kinds of virtual
Well,
walks and
they
all
have
kinds of stuff.
they have Kevin Conroy doing the voice of on that app.
Right.
That's the Bat. I mean, that right there. So, I mean, people are like, "Oh crap!" I don't even know what it was, and I was thinking about.
It says fans can also team up with Batman to protect Gotham cities in a series of digital activities, such as joining the celebration on social media and helping Batman to piece together a series of clues left behind by the Riddler. If you can decode this mischievous hints, you'll unlock exclusive limited time reveals. The adventure begins when the virtual bat signal lights up. I want to say this is at 12 p.m. Pacific, and that September 18th on the Twitter, on DC's comic Twitter account. And I know that they have all we have listed here. Go to DC Comics on .com, and you can get a lot more of this information. Comic book stores around your neck of the woods will have. They're gonna give digital free comics, and it says here HBO Max will celebrate with Batman Takeover of the DC brand hub from September 18th to 19th. So I'm eager to see what that's gonna look like. I might be stuck watching some Batman stuff.
I actually started watching on that DC Hub that Harley Quinn show.
The show movie what are you talking about? Oh, okay.
The cartoon.
Okay. No, I haven't seen that one.
I mean, don't watch with the kids.
Okay.
Many F-bombs and just cussing all over the place, and a lot of gore. I was surprised. They actually they kind of retconned Harley's. So like she's broken up with Joker. So she's out of that toxic relationship. So that's the only reason I kind of watched it, because I personally can't stand Harley Quinn because of that whole. That's a whole different.
That's a whole other thing. So how do you feel about Batman Day? Have you ever participated in Batman Day in the past? I know Comics Plus is I know that they always do a big celebration here local in Corpus, and so they've been announcing that. I guess they'll slowly start getting more things announced as part of the local celebration component. Dean over at Texas Toys will have probably some other thing going on, and they'll probably have some various guests to hopefully not get anybody sick. Anyway, but lots of comics of all over to go around for sure. Free digital comics, free digital whatevers. If you have HBO Max, this seems like it's going to be an exciting little venture that they're going to have. So this is definitely going to be a lot of fun. Batman Day. I don't think I've ever went actually to a comic book store on Batman Day, but I always see some of the things online and all that kind of stuff.
Were you at least gonna mention how the Batman has halted filming because Pattinson was hanging off the rock? And
I was gonna mention a little bit about that, but I didn't want to spoil Batman Day just yet. Yeah, they it's funny, we did our Batman show, and you know what? I wonder if that was a sign. Well, that goes to the other show that we do in the curious nature of things. Maybe we shouldn't have done.
Oh no! This isn't Robert Pattinson. This isn't that iconic shot recently of Pattinson. This is the.
That's what I thought you were doing. I thought he already had that come out in a magazine. I've seen that.
But see, this is what I'm saying. See, we didn't talk. We're not that much of a Pattinson fan like we were Brandon Lee. So he didn't die. He got corona. That's about the.
Yeah. He's got a little bit of that. Yeah, just a little touch. I wanted to talk about a big anniversary issue is going to hit this month. The Return of the Green Goblin, and it's going to coincide with a legacy issue, Amazing Spider-Man 850. And now, if you're following just the run of the volume, that would be issue number 49. So let's not get that confused. Issue 49 in the volume series, but legacy number 850. And it is the Return of the Green Goblin. And there you go. Amazing Spider-Man 850. If that doesn't get you chills seeing Green Goblin in his full glory, I don't know if you are a true comic book fan. So with all of that, look. So what do you think about this Spider-Man? I immediately jump into let's critique the Spider-Mans that are going to be here.
Is that the cartoon Spider-Man?
No, man, that's his arm.
There's a classic Bagley.
And
I'm talking about the comic I'm showing.
Oh. Well, they can't see that one because we.
I know. I'm showing you.
I can't see it either because.
Who is this? Who is this?
Who's doing this book?
Is this Otley? Or who's doing the inside?
Yeah, I think it's Ryan Otley in it.
Well, no, they said that was a cover, but what's the?
Well, no, dude. There's a whole crap load of dudes doing the cover. There's at least 20 different covers going into this. It says no, courtesy of artists Ryan Otley, Humberto Ramos, and Mark Bagley.
So because I know the other
story.
two.
Yeah, the
I'm
three.
Guessing Otley. That's Otley's work.
Yeah, it's Otley. And then we got this one.
Mm-hmm. Going to Little Shop of Horrors. All right. Then we got black and white and blood. All right.
Yeah. And there's this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got this.
I like what they've done there. Mm-hmm.
Like that one. And then of course I shared this one earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody on the podcast is listening to this will know what the hell we're doing. What we're doing here currently is we're scrolling through some of the 850 artwork and the different covers that have that are coming their way as far as in September 30th. Yeah, September.
I think they just announced that it's going to be 850 variant covers.
So now, the headline that I was sending you is that there is no story behind it. It's just a figure. As of right now, and I believe the cutoff date might be tomorrow, the FOC.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but I think it's this Sunday. They're already at 200,000 comics sold of Spider-Man, the orders. So
I can see that.
So, yeah, that seems like a good.
Well, because again, a lot of those people are. I mean, Spider-Man's been around, you know, a little bit longer than, you know, a lot of these newer comics.
And it's an event book, and what's guaranteed to happen here, even if they put, let's just say, you know, they're giving people fair warning that we're probably not going to go more than a couple of more, because this book will guarantee, what do you think, 1 million seller when it's all said and done with all the printings that will finally come out with this thing? Because they're going to have, they're going to have printing 2, printing 3, printing 4, you know, maybe even up to a printing 5 of this thing.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, they're actually going to deliver on this story, because I mean, again, you know, you're only going by a synopsis and, or I'm sorry, just like maybe a plot detail and some of the artwork. I mean, it could very well easily turn into it was all a dream.
Yeah, it was a Parker waking up from a dream, a bad dream of the he was dreaming again of or he wakes up and he's going back to school and Gwen's there and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't
understand how
why does he need, like, back in the day, how many people did he need? It was just him. Why does he need like 12 different? Well, dude, does he need 12
Human
different?
Torch.
Does he need 12 different? Does he need 12 different guys? Come on.
With all spider powers.
Yeah.
Talk about a small world.
Yeah. He's gonna open up the Spider-Verse to come bring all these stupid dudes to come
spider diversity.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, but
oh no, they're going into Spanish Harlem. Miles, go get him. And then
you're gonna see Green Goblin flying through different I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's gonna be exciting. I think that I post 2 of the covers that I liked on the Rip Comics podcast. So that is a bonus for you guys. Go to the Rip Comics podcast Facebook and look at the photos that we have for this episode 7, and you will see 2 of the covers that I picked as what I thought were pretty cool. Yeah.
Shouldn't we call it issue 7?
Yeah, you're right. I've caught myself saying that in the first couple of episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it should be issue. I mean, you have the issue behind you.
Yes, I do. It gets confusing sometimes.
No, I know, because I mean, with the 300 other variant podcasts that you do.
Oh yeah, and yeah.
You're like the Todd McFarlane of. No, because that would be like you would be creating podcasts and not doing them.
Just producing them, just laying them out there. Podcast galores, all left and right, all over the place.
I'm your host, Greg Capullo.
But that's pretty much what I've seen. So, you know, we got 200K. So that's a good number. I mean, it's a milestone book. You got a very popular character, and we're all kind of hoping that he delivers the goods on this one. You got some great artwork happening here. Lots of covers being sold left and right. Let's just hope that the inside of the book holds up to that. All right. Anyway, my hot pick last week, and I have that pictured on my profile picture currently still right now. Yes. Very nice. We both had a chance to peruse this. This is actually cover A of the book. And as we speak, it was a success, and it immediately was picked up for a second printing. So much success. Congratulations to Emma and Rusty on this effort. But, you know, upon inspection, we have Mr. Roland. And I'm gonna thumb through some of the photos here of the preview that they actually have here on the site. I think it's a 1-for-1. Let me see if it gets a little bit bigger. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that. Not too big. but it's a lot of detailing. To me, you when we were talking about it, it was very reminiscent of something that we used to read back in the early in our early comic book days, and it's
Hmm.
a very traditional vibe and style that still I hold very dear, and I think maybe that was the enduring part of that got me hooked into this book. It's a really it's all this book is Inkblot one is a good setup and delivery of the who, what, and where, and what we can expect, because they dangle a lot of little things out there, the different universes and the mysterious cat, and we are left with a peek at one of these worlds. We're not going to go too much more, but we're giving a little snapshot. Um, so where do you want to what do you want to comment first on some of this stuff, Roll?
Um, yeah, it kind of took me back to the '90s of Valiant. Um, just I mean, it's not, it's not like her dad. Just reading through some of the faces, is very reminiscent of her grandpa. The Sergeant Rock, the sir. I mean, it's a mixture. I mean, they all go through a school. This is starting to be like the Hart Foundation. You know, they go to Stu Hart's dungeon, but um, no, Joe. A lot of detail. In the library, and that's what's surprising. Then when they go to a world, it's almost kind of like the complete opposite. It turns into like a Samurai Jack almost, where it's very simplistic. But in that simplicity, I mean,
Um,
overall, I it was a slow start for me. Um, I'm trying to understand. Is it just the name of her, the artist, that the hype and that it's getting? Because it reminds me of, maybe I just haven't seen a lot of today's writing, but some of that writing reminded me of like the '90s. It reminded me of, because I have seen some people's um, some people's that they used to write back then, and then they write now, and it's completely different. I looked back at a comic script that I wrote back in the '90s, and oh my gosh, it did not age well. And but it's just that, again, with an introduction, I there wasn't that much explanation. Um, I know it was an explanation. It was like a pilot episode.
right.
So I'm trying to see why this has gotten the hype that it's gotten. Maybe again, I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. But I mean, honestly, if I was at the comic book store and I bought it, and if I wasn't listening to the hype, I may have thumbed through it and been like, oh, okay. But I mean, because nobody's gonna tell me what's good. If I'm reading it and doesn't hook me, then I'm just, yeah. Again, it's interesting, and I'm wondering if the hype is only because of who's drawing it.
Right. No, that's fair. That's fair. No, and that's what I wanted you to do. I wanted to get a little bit of your insight on, or your take on the book. Yeah. No,
Uh,
because I know, like, you're coming from the old school, and you dabble in some of the more recent comics and stuff. And I wanted to send you this thing. It was my pick. It is part. It's a good story in regards to the story of the writers. You know what I mean? They're
yeah,
coming from the school and all that kind of stuff. You got third generation, but then when you start kind of digging into it, that's what I wanted to get your take on. I'm a huge Valiant, and a lot of
hmm
that is into that fantasy kind of vibe. And of course, the writing. We had some heavy writers in the Valiant universe when we were reading that, and then the artwork as well. I mean, when we're talking about the Laytons, the Barry Windsor Smiths, and all these. yeah, you could easily say it's very reminiscent of, some of, in some of this. Well, that's Jim Lee, isn't it?
Yeah, which was surprising that.
Yeah, he threw them a bone. Here you go. I'm gonna help
Like,
you guys out. But I
I've
like,
seen him. He doesn't talk like that.
yeah. But when I was when I started reading this story, I started finding myself getting like forgetting. I don't know. I enjoyed the ride. I liked where it was going. The writing wasn't overcomplicated, and I'm pretty sure they're trying to get younger readers into the book, because when you look at the very last page, it said teens, rated teens. So, you know what I mean? That's what I was going to say. For us as adults, adult men reading this book, and then going back into something like this, where our world has heavily been shaped with a lot of the heroes, superhero, muscle-bound creations, such as from her father and stuff like that. And occasionally we would dabble in, and I think what happened was, and I don't think the artwork was what pulled us into Valiant. I think it was the writing. The writing is,
and again, this is what I'm saying, is that my main thing wasn't that it was bad or I didn't like it, but my question was, why was it getting, like, back in the day, there was a few of us that liked Valiant, and it was not because of hype. It's because we were reading it and we thought it was good. Right. Which I think you were talking about, that we were probably going to try to do a Unity thing, which, see, a lot of people aren't going to even know
what we're talking about.
What we're talking about, but it, hopefully it'll give them a chance to kind of take a look at, like, there's always other choices than Marvel and DC, and and Valiant was one of those where it was like, wow, this is a story. This is like, they're not all about sideways issues and stuff like that. They're about, and not that the artwork was bad, but they were old school artists, until you brought in the Bart Sears, where he was very
started. They had to do that. They had to re-inject the series. Wasn't Wasn't he one of the artists also with Bloodshot? Yep. Weeks? And you had Bart Sear, you had I'm trying to think of all the they were trying all kinds of stuff. Even Shadow Man went through a series of different artists trying to rejuvenate and stay afloat.
Early on, you had the Barry Windsor Smiths.
Right.
Even some of the first covers of, like, Eternal Warrior, I think, was Frank Miller.
Right.
The cover.
Right.
I mean, and they were calling in probably favors. Hey, we've been in this game. It was Bob Layton and Jim Shooter. I mean,
yeah.
If you don't know those names, I mean, again, we ask, and again, nothing wrong with not knowing those names, but if you're a comic fan, like an actual, like into comics, again, everybody's, level of knowledge and stuff like that in comic books is always
we need to save that what the Shooter part, because eventually what happened with Shooter, and we're not going to go too deep dive into any of this because it's too big of a story, but what ended up happening where here they are with Valiant, and all of a sudden off they go and to Defiant, you know what I mean? It's like so We'll get into that later, because when he got into the Marvel universe as editor in chief and all that, he was a phenom. He was like a teen phenom that was writing scripts and all kinds of stuff. And then he ends up being brought on board and basically was guiding the ship, so to speak, in treacherous waters to resurrect all kinds of stuff and keep everything afloat that was successful, but also to bring up, whatever
the youth vault. I mean,
yeah. But that's for another, because that's a lot of stuff. So anyway, that was my pick for hot pick of the week, and I think it's they're up and comers. It's a fun read. I'm really anxious to see how the next couple of issues, because if I'm not mistaken, I did see an interview with them. They have the next 6 issues already worked out, and then they have more story, planned after that. So definitely the next 6 are already designed and all that good nature. I'm going to start off with the color forms. Color forms.
Yes.
So if anybody does not know or remember what color forms are, they were, well, this is not a good representation of what color forms are, because this is like the ultimate box. This was like, do you recall this set, or you only saw pieces of it after the
Only
fact?
pieces, because
Yeah. This came out in about 1977.
I was negative 2. Okay.
How I got this one, I have no idea, because usually we would get the small, those small box
Flea
set
market
of these.
ones.
Yeah, the real small ones. But then this one was like a super duper huge box, size like a board game. And you open it up, and it had like panels that you can open up left and right, and those were the buildings. The buildings would actually open up, and of course you had the plastic Colorform characters that were there.
Color forms. I believe I had a Return of the Jedi one.
Oh wow, that probably was very collectible one.
It wasn't one that I stole, unlike the Return of the Jedi Chewbacca, but that will be in our Star Wars.
This is an ad right here. It's the Spider-Man and Hulk. This is now opened up from what we were seeing before. It says you get about a dozen in the master pack, or unless they're selling the dozen. Okay, it's the. It says here it's 16 inches by 12 inches, and then 1 inch thick. So that's what you would get. And it says now two all-time great Marvel superheroes team up. And see, you got to remember, at the time you had CBS, Spider-Man, and the Hulk going on. So Marvel, is licensing or Colorform is licensing these entities to try to take advantage of that. So why not put them both together, in a team up? It says play these 2 sets together, and they battle Colorform plastic villains. The city opens up, both inside and outside play. Colorform's plastic stick like magic, and you get 2 the black sheets here with Hero, which is Spider-Man, and you got his villains and stuff. And then on the green one, obviously you're going to get the Hulk and then some of his villains. But you have the building, which is a bank on one side, and then of course the busted out building on one. And those are actual panels. Those panels will open up, so you can actually stick those things on and all that kind of stuff. Basically, we were playing with dolls, paper dolls.
You were, buddy. 77. I wasn't born yet. I was playing with action figures, son.
Yeah, well, that they were big. Those were bigger dolls when we had them. So this is what we have here. This is the inside look of the Colorforms. And you probably remember all these things scattered all over and everything. The money, see right there, the little green money with the. Yep. You probably wondered, what the hell is that? I don't know what any of these, but a lot of these characters, they were either refrigerators, toy boxes, or
the mirror in the vanity.
Right. Yeah, but these are very classic forms of the of all the villains, and I mean, you got Spider-Man in various positions. This is Spider-Man right here, very famous cover right here. He doesn't have a web on his hand, but it's next to the garbage can right here. That was on a cover. You got the Lizard, and you got the Craven. I don't know what this guy is right here. Some kind of, I don't know. Then the Hulk. You get all the Hulk in his. But then you got Doc Ock, which is interesting because these are also Spider-Man villains.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say Rhino is
Rhino. Yeah. So I guess this should be Spider-Man and special guest appearance the Hulk with, or unless these guys, no, these are all Spider-Man guys, bad guys.
Do you have the mastermind? What's his name?
Yeah, back over here in the top, over here.
That's the only leader. No, that's the
No, not that guy. Okay, this guy right here. Though.
no. Is that no? The guy with the big head. That's
Yeah.
that's a bad guy for the Hulk.
Okay, so maybe some of these guys kind of crisscross. I don't know. They ended up everywhere.
See, I think I saw that guy recently on a comic. I thought that was like a new character, but I guess.
Anyway, so I like how they have the little pows and the R and BAMs. I like how they have the word balloons.
I mean, you were making
also.
your own comic panel. It wasn't even, that's just freaking awesome.
That's interesting because it says here, I don't know if that says 78 or I thought this was 77. It could even be 1979. But yeah, those were the color forms. We'd play with these things all day. Like you were saying, you ended up getting some that were later on, Return of the Jedi and stuff like that. Was it the speeder bikes? Is that what it had, or what was yours?
It was yeah, because it was the little base that they were trying to break into on Moon of Endor.
Moon of Endor.
The
Wow.
Moon of Endor.
Exciting.
Yes.
Very, very exciting. But yeah, that was the Color Forms Ultimate set. This thing, I think if you were to try to find this thing intact, you're probably paying a pretty good penny just because of the collectability of it, and just being a very, very cool thing to have. Were you familiar with the Presto-Magix dry transfer game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the one that I remember. Look at the price, $1.50. This was also in the 70s, 78, 79, something like that. The way this worked was you peeled the sheet, and then you found what your favorite character, like this guy's the Presto-Magix guy down over here, and you would place it on the set or whatever, the scene. Then you get that pencil, and then you scribble, and then the next thing you know, when you peel it back, it's on there. And the image of that is in play. So this is what one of the little things looked like. You had Sandman, you had, I don't know, some kind of robots and the Vulture. You had Doc Ock, but all his arms were all over the place. You also had the Green Goblin, J. Jonah. I guess that's Mary Jane down here. And then they had a crap load of the bad guys. And basically you would set the scene with wherever you wanted to put them in the scene, and usually it was like a cityscape or something like that. And you really, what was different than the color forms, where once you did it, that was it. If you did it upside down, the dudes were upside down. You couldn't take them off and all that. You had to be pretty creative and using your imagination to make these scenes and stuff.
Well, the funny thing about that is color forms. I guess they must have bought that because I'm remembering now, because I think that Star Wars one, I had something like that, but it wasn't Kiss. No, it wasn't. It was made by Colorform.
Colorform, yeah. Kids play with Colorform these days.
But no, it was made by Colorforms because I remember the logo. But it was like one of those where you had to, you had that, like, it was almost like a wax pencil, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. For us, we actually had to use like an actual pencil and stuff. So now you got Marvel superheroes, Rose Art. Maybe it wasn't, see, Rose Art, but look what he's doing. Look how he's holding them. Stick and Lift Adventure Set. You're right. So basically, they were taking the Presto-Magix name.
Well, it says Presto-Magix. Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Right. They were actually competing with Colorform. So Rose Art and Presto-Magix, and of course Marvel. Look at that name. That Marvel logo is just going right across there. They get into the game, and you know what? We can make these images. We can make them 1,000 times better.
We have the technology.
Some of the scenes. Look at that. Real vibrant colors. making
Morbius.
Yeah.
The heck?
Yeah.
How many times did we actually see him
do anything, right? But yeah, there you go. There's you got Captain America. You got a couple. Look at that. How often have you seen this logo? Or in the logo, right? This is the logo of the Marvel logo.
And same with Cap.
And then up here, but look,
and
this
it
to
had
me,
had the ricocheting.
Yeah,
shield too.
It was already in action. And so Colorforms and Presto-Magix, in essence, for the being reused over and over, I guess that's what they had to do. They had to compete with that. Now, there was something that also came out. This is it. It was called the Amazing Spider-Man Webmaker. You make your own real webs. And basically you had this little web shooter, which is in the middle. It's like a Spider-Man, and you stick that thing in there, and you basically would squeeze it. All you're doing is you have a squeezer thing for that tube. And all this is, because these are kids, even being kids, those things are bigger in their hands than what they really are. This was tiny.
Oh, yeah.
And so these little plastic guys that they had right here, you break them and you open them up, and then you connected them with the webs, and then they would fly around. Again, we got the Green Goblin. See, that's what I'm saying. You got the Green Goblin and Spider-Man always battling each other. Always. It just, this one has to be.
They should bring them back.
Oh, yeah. You know what? They should. It'd be perfect time. But then, that's what this is. I mean, basically, if you look down here in the bottom, you would it's like you were the spider, and you would put a dot on a piece of the wall, and then you would bring it across to something else, and then you would have these webs. You're basically putting the webs everywhere. And then this is the back of the box that you had. So basically, you were playing with the piece of cardboard that it came with. That's what you did. And if you had other stuff like cars and toys and all that, I guess you would make your own webs that would snap to that. You were as creative as you wanted to be with this thing. That all the little figures that we showed are the size of your fingernail, or these little plastic things. Definitely, just looking at it on surface, you got a choking hazard, you got toxic chemical shit, you got little plastic parts. This is an age thing. I think 3 was like the cutoff, because kids at 3, I guess they assume if you were 3 and under, you're putting everything in your mouth. And if you're older than 3, you shouldn't be putting things in your mouth. I don't know. This is the imagination at its finest here. It was, if you had no imagination, these games would not work for you. This is before video games, home video games like that. I mean, if you're lucky, you had some kind of board game that had cards, and you would flip cards or whatever. And, we really didn't have action figures. We had action like play dolls, or whatever you want to call it, or paper dolls, or whatever you want to call this kind of play. But it was all imagination. You know what? I think you ended up cutting up your own comic books. I think I remember hearing Jessy, our uncle, saying that that's what he used to do. He used to want to play with the figures, and he would cut up his comic books and play with them that way. These toys eventually led to larger doll Mego figures, web shooter like dolls that actually would shoot water or webs out of their arms, and all that kind of stuff. So this is right at the 70s, when everything was kind of taken off. The TV shows were hot on CBS television. They didn't have any Marvel movies at the time. Superman was the king of the movies and Star Wars.
And actually, if you have Disney, Disney Plus, you can watch the Incredible Hulk.
You can watch those. If you want to have a retro throwback party and get into the mood of these kind of action figures and toys, you're right. That's what was there. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to preview. There's only really 2 comic books I want to preview out of all the books. I didn't really get into DC. DC is actually wrapping up the Joker War. So if you're into Punchline, that's the new DC villain taking over the thunder from Harley Quinn and all this
Quinn.
kind of stuff. And so now this Punchline character is like, dominating, lots of covers coming out. This person is like popping up left and right. I guess it's part of the new wave of stuff, like, hey, we got a different looking Joker, a different looking Batman, different looking the Robin King and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? DC has its own kind of stuff going on, and Marvel's wrapping up their Empire event and stuff like that. And so what comes next is the next wave coming from Marvel. And that's what I want to kind of sneak peek. So coming up this Friday, there are at least there's only 2 books really that I'm kind of focusing on this, and there are lots of books. So but I'm just going to focus on these 2. This one has been a long time coming. I've already had mentioned this to everybody. It's the Web of Venom Wraith. It comes out. This is a little sneak peek that previews offered. I know my brother's anxious to see what Mr. Sinister is up to.
Yes.
But we have Kate's writing, and this is actually a character that we've actually seen in Annihilation Conquest. That was a series that was done, I want to say, almost like, man, what year was that? Maybe 3 to 4 or 5 years ago that this character popped up. Donny Cates has a way of resurrecting older characters and injecting them into these new storylines with,
So nothing new. That he's just. I mean, is that what you're saying?
No,
you can't create things. You must use things that are.
It's not what I'm saying, man. So very spacey. I like the style. It's not the traditional art. They went out. It's a one shot, so they really wanted to give it a certain vibe and stuff like that. It's very westerny kind of feel. You got the guy ready down here. Many name for one who is nameless. It's like the man with no name. The man with no. My name is nobody.
Nuts.
There you go.
No nuts.
Oh man. And so, ta-da, there you go. He's got the serape and all the unhand the woman. So there you go. It's like, he's ready to, you can hear the tune and everything, the and then Back to the Future used that same serape.
And so did, never mind. I was going to say Gunslinger, Super Spider-Man. I mean, Spawn.
And I think there was also a thing. There was this short movie that was made where this guy was under a street light, and then he had to nail hands in the.
Yep, I remember that one.
Hey, look
that was
right
good.
here. This scene right down there. There he is. It's right. But with white hair.
So is there somebody throwing talking about giving money to The Witcher or something? Is this The Witcher?
No.
You're showing me?
No,
Wraith, double. Okay.
Wraith. Yeah.
Wraith.
So then he.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. No. But
no.
But that's just it. They only give you just a couple pages of the thing. So you got Nanol in the back over here, and you got Wraith. And what's basically going to happen is the ultimate showdown between these two cats. You're able to see this? Yeah, this is the other cover that they're going to have.
Omega Red and who?
This is the sword battle, and these two dudes finally show down, and it's all leading up to the King in Black, the coming of Null, and everything like that. So this would be the first piece of that entire puzzle, as it's coming down to their massive event. All the comics have been racing up the charts. They're worth so much money, all leading up to this the showdown of. Eventually, he's taking down a very formidable foe, or he's taking on a formidable foe, and then we get to see a massive showdown between these two cats. And then, then we start seeing all the books start coming out in November and all that kind of stuff, just in time for a nice huge crossover event and stuff like that. So Null, yeah, Donny Cates. That's the one I'm recommending. It's anything that you end up seeing his name. So just to let everybody, I'll read it one time over, because I think we just were showing it and we really didn't give any insight of what was going on. So it's Web of Venom, Wraith #1. It's a one shot. Okay, since its appearance in the Guardian of the Galaxy, one thing Wraith has made perfectly clear is that he's hunting Null, the god of the symbiotes. Now in the wastelands on the outskirts of the cosmos, he'll have his chance to face him.
So, hey, I was thinking, it just, you said Batman Day is the 19th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we will be doing a podcast, right?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Yes.
Well, Saturday at noon. I mean, we always do one. I don't know why I would not plan around that, or at least let you know in advance if I wasn't going to show up. But I was thinking, maybe we can do something to, I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Give that away.
Oh, I thought you were going to say rip them away.
Well, I was going to do that with this comic today.
Oh, my Lord. No.
Why?
No, that's no. I will enforce the returness of that. I'll become Wraith.
We'll just be like, no, that's not it.
What the hell are you doing? Oh my God, the madness. The madness. No. Dude, I heard this. I heard the screams of 1,000 million Alderanians all screaming out at once. What's wrong, Ben? I'm not feeling well, Luke. Help me.
Twisting the comics. He ripped the cover off.
That's what we need to do. We just need to have that picture always ready to pop up on the screen of Obi-Wan going, oh, I felt the screams. Oh, of all chaoticness.
All the comic.
The comic universe.
Fellow comic nerds.
Since Ice Cream Man seems to be really hot these days because it's multiple covers, at least they're doing something really cool. And this is actually coming out this coming up week. Ice Cream Man presents Quarantine Comic Special. In the early days of the pandemic, the team behind Ice Cream Man launched an online series of mini comic sets of the Ice Cream Man universe. The project was called Predictability Quarantine Comic. These strange little ditties were meant to tide folks over while the industry was on pause, and also raise money for struggling comic shops, with 50% of all the proceeds donated to the Comic Book United Fund, or BINC. Okay, and now collected in everyone's preferred format, a floppy comic book, all 6 issues of Quarantine Comics featuring brand new cover art and bonus stories by guest creators. As before, 50% of the creator profits will go to the Comic Book United, and that's to help stores get back on their feet because comic shops are sweet. This is something that we kind of hinted around. I know we were kind of joking about. I think it was actually somebody else that we had on the show. They were actually joking around how the Green Ranger, and they had various Rangers going to Power Rangers going to comic book shops, and they were actually there to help raise money for this this cause and stuff like that. So these are a couple of pages on the inside. Kind of just, looks like a little taxi driver kind of looking, and then the car starts taking off in the air. So maybe it's more Repo Man in Greece all of a sudden. I'm not, and then he goes off into space and stuff. So, yeah. So maybe he's now the Tesla Man. Launching himself.
Tesla Man.
But so
OMD for you.
Do we make a venture and say how many covers this thing's gonna get printed into? What do you think?
I don't even know who that is. I thought they looked like Dr. Seuss.
Well, no, that was just that one B cover. That
Then why would I even want to read this comic? I thought it was all about
Dr.
Seuss.
Seuss, yeah, no. Well, see, the thing is,
Like Killing Zoe. Seuss, never mind.
well, anyway, so Ice Cream Man is the ice cream man that does everything that an ice cream man can.
Ice cream can. Oh.
But,
Open like the sunrise.
I think what I think he is like, he's like the host of the series, and he's taking you on this crazy journey.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, hey,
Kind of like that.
there you go. Because this is several stories, kind of telling in all this collection and stuff like that. And so he presents some tasty treats for you. I know I didn't bring it up, but this is actually going to be worth $1.
Hey, true believers.
Yeah, it's
I'll buy that for $1.
reprinting 1981's 211 cover. So the Gray Crow, that's what it's calling, Gray Crow. Do you know anything else?
Maybe some people can actually like buy it and like read it. Like maybe they have it and they're like not reading their comics.
And so this is, you know what? That is, I think, true believers. We're trying to we believe in you, that you are reading your books, so that you don't destroy your books that have been encased in plastic for life.
That's what I'm talking about. People like, hey, have you read Donny Cates? They're like, I haven't read comics in years, but you collect them. Well, yeah, but I haven't.
But I haven't touched one in forever. That sounds.
I like
weird.
the pretty lights.
I like the pretty lights. So those are the two: Ice Cream Man, Quarantine Comic Special, and Web of Venom, Wraith. Those are the ones that I recommend. And now we're here at Roland's Treasure Chest. He's gonna show us. The episode just keeps changing. The segment, we don't know what we're calling it anymore.
No, it's just me. It's me.
It's you. It's you.
It's because I show up.
There you go. And he's got his own theme song too. Listen to that.
My Ice Cream Man. We were talking about Ice Cream Man, so let me put a cone in your mouth.
Yes,
he's gonna lick it.
He's gonna show his treats. Oh,
no.
No.
No, nothing. I'm not cutting the comic itself yet.
Yeah, but you're going to unleash it. You're going to expose it to air. How dare you? How dare you?
So this
I've seen that happen before. It's all going to like turn into like dust and fly away.
Limited edition collector's pack, number 26,925. I mean, I think that's a low number. Because there's a 0 there, which means they made more.
But see, there's a 0 in front. That means that it's worth more.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're gonna see what's in this. I mean, it says in the back.
It's a 3-pack. It's a 3-pack.
No, it's a 5-pack.
Oh, so you didn't even know what's in the middle?
Yes, I do. It says it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But for the purpose of my section, my Ice Cream Man, my treats, my novelties. We're going to open this up and see.
Oh, no.
See what is in there. That was a push-up. That was a Flintstones push-up right there. Old comic book smell. It smells like sweat and cumin. So that's a comic book store in Corpus.
Did you say cumin?
Sweat and cumin. That's the poor. See, this is how much it protected it. So it was all yellow, but it was just the plastic that was yellow. Look at that. It protected it. You see that? You see the difference? That was sun beaten, and then, so we have.
Okay.
So, a mutant milestone. X-Men.
Man, crispy.
Number 281.
Crispy. Very crispy.
And it's a cut print. You see that?
Yeah, it was worth more. Yeah, it was all worth more before you did what you did.
Yep.
So on the bottom, is it miscut in the bottom? Or it shows. Okay, wow. Okay.
And this was a cover by Will Portacio or however you want to say it. So, and look, from what just came out recently.
Wow, there you go. Bill and Ted's.
And this was the 50 years of Captain America, 1941 to 1991.
Yep, the anniversaries. Yes.
A new team is born.
Yeah,
And this
that
has
comic
Lady Gaga.
It got just born right there. You just borned it out of that protective case there.
This Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper comic.
Yeah.
Where someone dies at the end. No. Then we have X Factor number 71. A new beginning, a new team, their first adventure.
Wow. Yes.
And this was, inked by Milgram. I don't know. Larry Stroman. Look at that. If that didn't get you into X books right there,
yeah.
It's like we need Guido. Strong guy.
I think when I opened that book, I wanted to run away.
Excuse me, you got any Grey Poupon? And then
the figures bring home the action.
And right here, the only character you could find at the Kmart was Storm. I don't know if this comic is going to go anywhere, but we have X-Men number 1.
Out of several million. That's the record breaker right there. You're showing the record breaking comic. That 8 million copies were put of that. Now, if I'm not mistaken,
only 1 million of them were red.
If you look in the back of that book or in the middle, is it the back of the book or the insert? Isn't there an insert? Yeah, I know it opens up in the back and the front. You need more hands, yeah.
Nothing to lose, buddy. In the back door and the front.
Yeah.
Look at that. Beauty right there.
Is there? I don't know if it was an X-Force one or is it in the middle of that book? Is there a like a poster, like insert poster, like a two-way?
Nope.
Like at the center
there's
spread.
Pinups in the back.
Maybe the pinup. It's like a preview of things to come because in that book, it should be in there.
They have a villains gallery.
Yes, that's the one.
And you can see
there's
Noah
a preview.
In the background.
There's a preview of a certain tentacled red guy. It's supposed to be in there. Is he in there? It's a villain. It's villains, right?
Yeah, I see Mojo Jojo. I see Magneto. Remember that?
Magneto.
I see the Brood. I don't.
Omega's not on that. Omega Red's not on that.
I'm not seeing. I see Loki. The hell was Loki doing in there? When the hell did Loki come out?
Yeah, he just was freelancing.
Oh no! You know what? I see Null. Look at that, right above Arcade. That is freaking Null. Right there. Or it's that guy who's in the Gunslinger Spider Spawn.
Yeah, so that book now just went up $2.
You heard it here first. Now it's $4.
Yeah. I can't remember which. It was a book. I forgot which one it was, but they had a preview of Omega Red.
Things to come.
There it is. Yeah, that's it. That is considered they consider that a cameo.
And you know what's funny? There is no tentacle.
Right.
There are no tentacles.
Yeah, you don't have none of those
Only
things.
in Japanese comics.
See, the thing is
X classified.
Right, but see, and the thing is on that one, they don't consider that his first appearance.
Why?
Because it's a poster. They consider
not only that, but you have
the sketches, right?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. You could look at these other books like Marvel Age and all that, and they have like one picture of a Spider-Man with a red shit on his shirt, and that book's like worth like $50. But this thing that printed 8 million copies is still worth, I don't know how much it's worth. I know that this is that particular issue is the most sought after one out of that run, because each one of those gatefolds was a
it was out of 40,000.
Yeah,
this was out of 40,000. So just 40, to let you know, they added that zero to mess with us.
Yeah, yeah, but that particular comic right there, or X-Men, the X-Men comic, was the most printed book
because you would have
made. Each
of these was an issue.
Yeah, each one was a cover.
So
You had it all put together or separate, and that was one of the last 3 books written by Claremont.
yes. Now, if you go to my Metal Jaw Comics Facebook page, you'll see that I did a Z&G version of that right there.
Classic.
But it also had that Psylocke.
Right.
Anyways, we're not done yet. You thought it was a 3-pack, but no.
And there's more. All right.
After you see the other 2, you're gonna wish it was a 3-pack. But before a little fun, let's see if there's anybody out there that has why wait until next week to see your favorite shows? Introducing Laugh's TV trading cards.
Wow.
This was a variant Urkel that, it actually says Laughing Family Matters, Steve Urkel. Then you had Torn Between Two Lovers, and it was Carl Winslow with Richie and, I don't know, it's just a scene from that episode. Larry Appleton. It's Appleton, but you speak it. It was see that? Who has I want to find out how much a set of these cards and how much that you would pay to get rid of them. So, let's go into part 1. Now, you don't usually see this, but this issue is a cover. It's actually a Spider-Man comic. And I know you don't usually see Todd McFarlane full of himself.
Right.
But in this comic, he actually said bye to himself as if he was Spider-Man. So we have Sabotage, crossover part 1. And this whole issue is sideways. We should have known this is what Image was going to give us, just full splash pages, like practically the entire, did anybody ever call this and answer all the questions in the danger room? So, look at this. We found out Todd McFarlane couldn't do any better with Cable. That's just...
Yeah,
that's a sideways head. Mind you, I don't draw any better, but I also don't get paid as much as these guys. That's a sideways head. That's like when you draw, I don't know if you've ever done it, where you're drawing and you're angled all wrong. Is that me?
You're Billy Mays. Look at this comic book here, everybody. No, just...
Okay, now, I've never seen the Juggernaut look like that.
He looks like the guy from Fat Albert.
Hey. Yes. And the great thing is that with McFarlane characters, they have 175 teeth in their mouth.
Maybe he thought he was doing Venom.
Every comic had
exaggerated teeth.
175 Native American teeth. Right there.
Well, you know what? He was inspired by Liefeld.
Well, that's who he worked with, because part 2 of this Sabotage
it is Sabotage.
X-Force number 4.
Nice.
Liefeld. And you can tell because Liefeld doesn't use a ruler when he draws guns, so they bend. It's not an illusion from me. I'm not doing like that.
Yeah, it's a bendy gun.
Let's fix that.
What the frick? It's one of the infamous 5.
Oh, but Liefeld didn't want to get outdone, and he made sure to continue on.
I find that interesting. If you look at the other helmet, the helmet looked like it barely fits Juggernaut. That one, the helmet is so huge compared to the way McFarlane drew it. It's like his face was like coming out of it. It was like more like a stocking, and that one looks like it's like a dome, like a clear-cut dome.
Okay, there are 22 teeth alone on this bottom jaw. I don't know. I mean, I'm not that I'm not a dental hygienist, dentist. I just,
I'm not a dental practitioner.
and you gotta love when Liefeld was like, I don't want to draw the webs. I'm just gonna do a gradient on Spider-Man.
Yeah, he don't need webs. The colors give it
just-
away. I don't have time to draw those webs.
I don't know what panel that Spider-Man's supposed to be on,
Jesus.
but and look, watch out. The Joker holding a Wolverine card.
What blasphemy is that?
Robin 2, the Joker's wild.
Hey, wasn't those like hologram issues? They would hold a card and it was like a hologram also?
Yes. So we have that beauty right there. Butcher. Billy Butcher. Hey.
Oh my gosh.
So that one was in the Pedigree Treat Pedigree Collection, complete 5-issue set for $8.70.
Which is
That
now
was
worth
over $15 in near mint condition.
Okay, it's the Pedigree 5 set. Now you're gonna make me look it up. Pedigree. Five. It was a five.
Pedigree 5.
And what year was that?
92. Bill, don't forget. Remember? Bye, Todd. You'll never draw me again until Overstreet.
I was at a thrift shop or whatever. I picked up Thanos Volume 2, 1 through 9. I thought that was kind of a cool pickup. Each book ranged from $1.25 to about $1.50. And if you follow anything on that, I mean, on that front, those are actually pretty good pickups for that run.
That reminds me of Toll Booth Willie. That'll be $1.25 there, pa.
$1.25. Yeah.
Have you ever heard that?
I think
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Toll Booth. Yeah. Again, don't let your kids listen to it. It's
yes.
Adam Sandler at his finest is very raunchy, and
I didn't want to go through this episode. I did not want to mention Ninja Spawn. That cover was shown, and then of course a different color in the logos were shown, and then let's just take all the colors off of that and let's just show a black and white version, and then that version popped up. So instead of just 3 books being available, now there's 4 books available. And yeah,
it's just very surprising that Todd McFarlane would do something like this. He's very humble, he's like the Gene Simmons of comics.
Well, yes, sir. Well, he's got all, he's a ruthless businessman.
I want to show off this shirt.
Nice. Because Gordon is alive.
My daughter had bought it for me for my birthday during quarantine.
It's a good one.
Gordon's alive.
Gordon's alive.
These were comics that I was possibly going to talk about.
Yeah, that one actually is worth some bucks.
Let's do this. That should be one of the cover.
The cover. Yeah, that one actually. That one's a good one.
Old school Flash. And if you want to get an expert set, you can cut up your comic and get some D&D.
Yeah, that one's a classic one right there.
Now, this right here. Amazing new life forms are taking over Atari. Look at the graphics on that.
Dude.
That, oh my gosh.
I'm running out to get that one right there.
That
looks so real.
Video games are so exciting.
Yeah, but not realistic.
Oh no, they were. They're yeah.
It's in the game. Oh no, that's not that one.
Atari to the game. Oh, here's something interesting. As we speak, a new Z&G has been posted to Facebook.
Oh, there you go. So that's you're gonna. The link will be available on this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to Ripped Comics Podcast on YouTube
And give a thumbs up.
and give it a thumbs up and listen to it and then listen to it again and then go listen to all the last 6 episodes and catch up with all the adventures.
And share with your friends.
Go on the Facebook. You can listen to the episode for at least the next 24 to 48 hours through the weekend, and you can watch them live. And then what we do is we do the magic of adding the intros and clean up the episode ever so lightly. And then we put those up on YouTube. To find these again, go to YouTube and type Ripped Comics Podcast, and you'll see the episodes all there. This is the 7th episode, so you'll see the first 6 if you go there right now. Lots of great content. You can go back and listen to our picks, and you can listen to a lot of the we have a Crow episode up there. We have a Batman episode. We have we talk about all kinds of hot topics that are going on at the time. So
and if there's something
yes.
if there's something that you want to listen to us talk about, or you can put it on the Facebook page of Ripped Comics Podcast, or even come on over to Metal Jar Comics too.
Yeah, you could drop them a line.
And we will look at it and see about talking about it. Also, don't forget, come up with some ideas for Batman Day and possibly giving that little bad boy the old classic TV series Batmobile.
We'll announce little things on there. We hopefully let your friends know, let everybody else know that we're gonna do a little special Batman Day giveaway, or however. Give it away, and we might throw something else Batman related. We still haven't figured out what that is. So just like the page, and subscribe to the YouTube, and you will get more Rip Comic Podcast action. So our giant size Batman Day special giveaway and all that good stuff will be happening around that weekend. So until next time, I'm Rob.
And I'm Roland.
For Rip Comics Podcast, we will catch you later.